You've talked about just your experience in education,
Right.
maybe. But what would you say about all that experience and your background makes you best suited to
Well,
serve the 25th?
right. I think it's a matter of perspective. There's different kinds of experience. There's a kind of experience that of how a bill becomes a law. Well, you know what? I figured that part out. I just graduated from law school. I think I can figure that. I've worked in Jeff City before. That's not the kind of experience that the 25th district needs right now. The 25th is a very fiercely independent-minded district. I've lived here my whole life. It's been represented by some very strong representatives, some very independent-minded representatives who aren't afraid to say, what they think is best for the district. And I think the kind of experience the 25th district is looking for, I think the kind of experience everybody in our community, in the state, and in the country is looking for is not political experience. I think as a society, I think we're just getting tired of politics as usual and political hacks running our government. And I really think that the people are looking for the experience of a teacher, the experience of somebody who's been in the community, who's seen the effect that the policy has on what really matters. And that's my experience is more real world. It's more looking at the results as opposed to actual forming the policy. Because I'm going to be a person that's going to go down to Jefferson City. I'm not going to owe anybody anything. I'm not a person who's been there my whole life, and I don't have any preconceived notions about who's right, who's wrong, and I really feel I can go down there with an open mind and a blank slate and do what people have been longing for, I think, for a very long time.
What would you say people are longing for? What are the biggest issues facing your district?
Well, the biggest issues facing this district is obviously funding for the University of Missouri. I think in the last 6 years since since Republicans took control of the House of Representatives, the 25th district has had, although Judy Baker is I think a wonderful person and a good representative. The fact is that reality is reality, and she has been in the minority party in Jefferson City. And Boone County and Columbia has had more representatives in the minority party than we have in the majority. Ed Robb has been the only representative of Columbia in my lifetime who's been a Republican. And Steve Hobbs' district, comes into Boone County and encompasses a large part of the area. It's affected by the university, but still, the fact is that we have not had a real our community has not had a strong voice in the majority party, and as a result, we're seeing money, we're seeing research going to other campuses in other parts of the state, Springfield, Cape Girardeau, and I think that we really need a strong voice in the majority party to try and bring some of that money and some of those research dollars back to the University of Missouri. Now that's the first and most important issue in this district, because the university is where the majority of our jobs in this community come from. I mean, it is the engine that not only runs the state, intellectually, but it runs our economy. And so if you're looking for one issue that's going to have the greatest effect on the 25th, it's going to be my ability to work with the majority and provide the funding that the university, our flagship institution, deserves. Now, if you ask me my personal feelings on what I feel the single most important issue concerning the state is, it's public education. There's absolutely no question. There are 50,000 children attending unaccredited public schools in Missouri, and that's sickening. That's absolutely sickening to me. And that's the kind of thing that should be keeping politicians up at night. And when I'm sitting here thinking about policy and bills that I might introduce, that's the one number just staggers me and keeps me coming back and keeps me up at night sometimes too. Public education has to be a priority of the legislature, and it's been used as a political pawn by admittedly both sides over the past at least 10 years, and that's just unacceptable. That if there's one thing that we should all be able to agree on, it's supporting public education and making sure that the children of the state have the opportunity to succeed. Because right now, that's an entire generation of children that are missing out on the American dream just because they happen to be born in a school district that can't really provide them with opportunities.
Do you have a short to-do list of things that you want to just do right away if you get elected?
You know, I like to focus more on the concepts that I think we need to are the main issues that we need to address, and that being public education and supporting university. If you're asking for specific bills that I would introduce, you know, I think that's pretty difficult to get specific on right now, and here's why. Particularly in dealing with public education. You know, again, having been in the classroom, I can tell you one thing. And this is like death taxes, you know, guaranteed. It's that most legislators don't belong in the classroom. They don't understand the consequences of some of the legislation that they pass. I think No Child Left Behind is a perfect example of that. It was a bill with really good intentions, and it has some things that it has succeeded at. I think it's made us as a society and as the field of education has made them look at the achievement levels of all students. Now, there have been unintended consequences of that have made things very difficult on school administrators and on teachers. So, again, to try to shorten the answer a little bit, you know, I want to make public education a priority. But I can also tell you this: having been in education, I can guarantee there are no easy answers. I mean, this has been a societal problem before I was born, and for you know, anybody to say that this is the solution to the problem, this is what's going to fix it, they're kidding themselves. Because if it were that easy, it would have been done already, and it would have been done nationwide. So I'm not arrogant enough to think that I'm going to go down to Jeff City and I'm going to file one bill or two bills and I'm going to solve the education problem. It's just not. It's too big to address in that fashion. You have to look at the whole system. You have. I mean, it is a major undertaking and a major process that we have to go through as a government and as a society to fix what is wrong, because there's some serious problems, particularly in Kansas City and St. Louis. Columbia, I mean, I think we take for granted how fortunate we are in this city to have the public schools that we have, you know, the quality of the administrators, the quality of the teachers is just second to none. And we really do, I think, take that for granted sometimes. But I mean, there are a lot of problems in education, I'll be the first to say, you know what, I don't have all the answers to that. But what I will do is I can guarantee what my focus will be. It will be on public education. It will be on teachers who make the public education system go, and who are the linchpins for the entire system. And I will know and have an idea when I make decisions. I'll understand the effect that it will have in the classroom.